Coming up on Mountain News this morning, officers gave testimony for the case of Brianna and Carol Rich, a reported case of matricide. And it's never too late to rebuild your life, and that's what one group believes as they train recovering addicts to build up houses and themselves.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on this Wednesday, March 26th, and the time is now 6 o'clock this morning, which means it's time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at that forecast. Megan, we've talked a little bit about the sunshine we could experience. You even said, hey, what about a walk today? That makes me think maybe we'll have some good weather as we get through our Wednesday.
I'm definitely going to go ahead and put this out here. Wednesday will be the best weather day of this week, in my opinion. I mean, we're having better temperatures. For me, I like a good cooler day, like you wear a sweatshirt outside and some jeans, and it's a perfect conditions for me. And we're also having partly cloudy skies and barely any chances for rain. What more could you expect for a great spring-like day? But we are a little bit chilly this morning. Here's how chilly we were compared to yesterday. Looking at 11 degrees colder right now at this moment in Moorhead than this time yesterday, 10 degrees colder in Monticello. But as you head towards Jonesville, we're a little bit warmer than yesterday. Here's what we're actually looking like. Those temperatures are mainly in the 30s and 40s, so you might need to set out a little extra time this morning to warm up your car before you head out. But this afternoon is going to look absolutely lovely. The mid to upper 50s. I'm starting to really like the 50s as we're, of course, heading into the warmer season is when I start liking the colder weather, right? But here is what you can expect in terms of rain chances. We have a little bit of a sprinkle this morning, especially as you're traveling towards Laurel County. But for the most part, we're going to be looking at clear skies, maybe a sprinkle or two as you head into the evening. And you could see the sun for most of the day. Definitely something to look forward to. Here's how the next couple hours will play out. We'll hit the high temperature of the day around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark. Amelia?
We have an update to a story we first brought to you last night from Perry County. Officials say they found missing teen Robert Caldwell last night on Upper River Road in Jeff. He was reported to be in safe conditions. And now more details on a shocking Southern Kentucky murder were revealed yesterday. Brianna Rich is accused of killing her mother, Carol Rich, at a Laurel County home on March 14th. A detective talked about how Carol Rich was shot multiple times during testimony in a district courtroom on Tuesday. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more about what was said.
Brianna Rich walked into a courtroom where her sister and other relatives sat, waiting to hear the evidence laid out against her. She's accused of killing her own mother.
Asked her what happened. She stated that her and her mother had got into some kind of argument.
Detective Taylor McDaniel says Brianna found a gun and proceeded to shoot her mother Carol 5 to 7 times in various rooms of the home and then outside.
It started in the bathroom of the residence, I believe she said, led to the kitchen, into the living room, and then they exited the residence. Through this whole time, she's repeatedly shooting her mother. She explained to me that they had made it out to the driveway and her mother had fell down.
There are still a lot of questions about the motive, what may have led up to this. The detective was asked if mental health may have played a role in leading up to this crime. Detective McDaniel said that Brianna showed no emotion during questioning, that she was a little confused and scattered.
I don't know that I've ever reacted with anyone that's killed their mother.
The attorney pressed more about Brianna's mental health, but the judge stopped her, saying it was not needed to determine probable cause, which later he says was found, and now a grand jury will consider if there will be an indictment. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The judge also refused to lower Brianna Rich's bond, which sits at $250,000. An agreement was reached in an emergency protective order case filed by the son of former Governor Matt Bevin. Jonah Bevin claims he was abused under the guardianship of Matt and Glenna Bevin. He also says he was sent to a Jamaican facility where he describes different accounts of being beaten and waterboarded. Yesterday, they all came to an agreement with different terms for each parent. Former Governor Bevin agreed to a 6-month EPO starting this week. That means no contact with Jonah and potential jail time if he violates it. Former First Lady Glenna Bevin agreed to a civil restraining order, which carries less severe penalties if it's broken. The Housing Development Alliance continues its work throughout the region. I talked with people from the HDA group Hope Builders who are working on homes as well as themselves. Hope Builders, a program helping folks leading lives in substance use recovery as they work to successfully re-enter the workforce.
Ultimately, our goal is to help them find good permanent work upon completing the program.
They are currently building homes on Lico Road. Officials with the Housing Development Alliance say it is the first major housing development that they're working on in Leslie County. On Tuesday, Stephen Sadich started his first day in the Hope Building program.
And I just feel like God's going to place the bricks in front of me. I just got to keep doing the next right thing, and this is part of doing the next right thing.
Jerry Chapins is nearing the end of his year in the program, remembering the 20 homes he helped build, the first in his hometown.
It feels good, you know, not coming from such a stable background, knowing that you're going to be a part of a place where families can make memories and continue to grow.
Putting on tool belts, climbing ladders, and nailing walls as they work to change lives.
It's important, especially in recovery, to do things that you can be proud of, and this is one of those jobs where you can stand back and see your work, and it makes you feel really good knowing that you're helping people.
But at the end of the day, it's about helping someone else that has either been through some bad stuff or is less fortunate.
Building hope in more ways than one. Hope Builders has expanded their program. They added 1 additional trainer and 2 more trainees, with a total of 7 trainees in the 1-year program. Well, if you were impacted by flooding in February, time is winding down to apply for FEMA assistance. Homeowners and renters in 16 Kentucky counties have until April 25th to apply for federal disaster aid. To register, you will need your Social Security number, disaster damage address, insurance details, and bank information for direct deposit. Make sure your contact information is up to date with FEMA, as they may need to reach out to you for a home inspection or more details. Information on how to apply can be found on our website, WYMT.com. The Christian Appalachian Project is celebrating 60 years. As part of the nonprofit celebration, leaders held a screening of Hearts of Hope, CAP is There, in Lexington last night. That's the 3rd segment of their 60th anniversary documentary film. The documentary explores the housing gap in rural and urban communities and strategies leaders are trying to tackle that crisis.
Because while this stuff is hard and it takes time, it takes a lot of partnership and intentionality, it can be done, and it is being done. And so my big hope would be that people kind of have a sense of all the work that is happening and that can happen.
Leaders also held a panel discussion called Closed Doors, the housing crisis in Kentucky, as part of last night's event. 2022 American Idol winner Noah Thompson put down his microphone and picked up his tools yesterday. The Lawrence County native volunteered alongside high school students participating in the Christian Appalachian Project's Youth Fest, an alternative spring break opportunity to help people in need. They worked on the Neely's home in Jackson County.
They're really sweet people, and they want to help people that can't afford the better themselves. You know, which we couldn't afford to put new windows, new bathroom in and all that unless it was for them.
Here, George.
So we're just tickled to death and so sweet of them to be here and helping us.
Volunteers worked on the installation of a walk-in shower. The Neelys both suffer from health issues, and they say this will be such a blessing for them.
We had a little bit of rain move through overnight. Now we're just watching a sprinkle as you're going towards Harlan County, Kentucky and Lee County, Virginia. And that's kind of what the forecast is for today. We're looking at cloudy skies staying mostly clear, but a sprinkle of some rain is not out of the question as you're heading into the evening. But for the most part, we're looking nice and clear. Here's a look at those temperatures, though, because it is off to a chilly start this morning, mainly in the 30s and 40s. But we will be warming up this afternoon into the mid and upper 50s. I'm not going to complain about those temperatures, especially as you're traveling towards Tennessee, hitting the low 60s, 62 for Jacksboro. Here's what you need to know. As you're heading off to the bus stop this morning, temperatures will be in the upper 30s on the way to school. By the time you're heading home, you can expect the low 50s. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Lawmakers are searching for answers after a journalist was added to a group chat involving military plans.